What's going on, everybody? Welcome to morning two of morning two, episode two of the morning show with your boy Jay. Got a few topics to cover today. Want to give a quick shout out to obviously the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family. Much love to all you guys as we prepare to get started here. Tuesday, April 11th. We got the play in later on tonight. I will be streaming both games between the Hawks and the Heat, as well as the Timberwolves and the Lakers. Later on in the stream, I will be giving my predictions for those games, so make sure that you stick around for that. Um, Gonna get into a couple topics. First one is really interesting. Dwayne Haskins, Mr. Dwayne Haskins, new development and the conspiracy surrounding his death, which is pretty wild. So we're going to get right into it. Dwayne Haskins was drugged on the night of his death as part of an alleged blackmail and robbery conspiracy against the former NFL quarterback, according to a lawsuit filed by his family. If you have been under a rock or if you have not been paying much attention, Dwayne Haskins was a quarterback starting for the Redskins. He died after he was ran over by a dump truck. So this is kind of like a follow up to that story. This lawsuit, filed last month in Broward County, Florida, lists four individuals, two restaurants, a golf driving range, and a hotel as defendants connected to the alleged conspiracy. Haskins was killed April 9, 2022, after he was struck by a dump truck while he was walking on a South Florida highway. He was 24 years old. The lawsuit also lists the driver of the truck as a defendant, citing his negligent acts as a direct cause of Haskins' death. A statement released Monday by an attorney representing Haskins' family also mentioned the alleged conspiracy against Haskins and said the lawsuit is an important step in the process of uncovering the complete truth about this tragedy. Now, here's the thing. As far as, when we talk about death and, family and lawsuits and all that kind of stuff, obviously this is all alleged. I want to make that clear. We don't know if any of this is accurate or if all of it's accurate. So I do want to make that fully aware to you guys. Obviously, this man's life was taken away tragically in this situation. It was initially reported that he was drunk and that he walked out on the highway and was hit by the dump truck, and that's how he died. Now, according to this story, there's more involved. Now, could this be in the sense of the family just trying to push different narratives and things like that so they can get more money for the lawsuit? We don't know. But this is obviously where we're at when it comes to this story. Continuing on. It is believed that Dwayne was targeted and drugged as part of a blackmail and robbery conspiracy. Attorney Rick Elsley said in the statement. In fact, his highly expensive watch was stolen from him shortly before his death. Now, I would tend to think he was in this situation. He was drunk. Who knows what specifically happened? Haskins' widow, Calabria Haskins, is listed in the lawsuit as the plaintiff and personal representative of Haskins' estate. She is seeking a jury trial and unspecified damages related to Haskins' death. A toxicology report concluded Haskins was legally drunk when he was hit by the truck on the I-595 in Florida. Separate samples taken from his body had blood alcohol levels of 0.20 and 0.24, both of which are above the legal limit in Florida of 0.08. According to the toxicology report, Haskins also tested positive for ketamine and norketamine, drugs that are used by medical professionals as anesthetics, but that also have been known to be used recreationally. Obviously, this man's a football player. We're going to assume that it was applied medically, but we don't know for sure. The medical examiner ruled Haskins' cause of death as multiple blunt force injuries and the manner of his death as an accident. No charges have been filed. So, once again, like I said, it's very speculatory as far as with these allegations, and all this stuff is allegedly because his death was initially ruled an accident. Now, if it was not an accident, then we're potentially talking about murder charges in a sense. For who and for what is still in question, and I'm thinking this is them wanting to get more of a investigation for specifically what happened. Continuing on, the final crash report released last year by the Florida Highway Patrol said Haskins was walking on the westbound side of I 595 when he entered into the travel lanes and into the path of the dump truck, which was traveling in the center lane. The front left of the truck struck Haskins. The lawsuit alleges the driver of the dump truck was speeding, driving carelessly, and had a cargo load exceeding the legal weight limit. The lawsuit also alleges negligence by the individual owner of the 1994 Kenworth truck, the driver's trucking company, the Florida Department of Transportation, the rental car company, and the contractor that provides signage along I 595. So they're suing everybody. And that's basically the development there. Hopefully, his family gets justice. The truth comes out, and these people are taken care of. Now, addressing you guys. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to Jacob. What's up? Shout out to George. Bob Evans in the building. Bob says, first time I'm hearing about this, think that's under a rock. Yeah, Haskins was actually just starting off in his career. So he was obviously with the Steelers, then he went to the Redskins, but he was just starting to make a name for himself. So not too many people knew about him, but I think he would have been a star if he would have lived on. Shout out to Dulo. Says after some of the new info release still doesn't raise high suspicion of something was ill intent. They need more hardcore evidence. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like I said, a lot of it is alleged stuff. It's conspiracy, tinfoil hat gang, but I don't think you would want to say a bunch of the stuff that they're saying unless there was some kind of merit to it, or unless someone really believed it. I would hate to think that a family would put out this kind of stuff, as well as a lawyer would allow this kind of stuff to come out if there was no truth to it. So hopefully they figure out what's really going on. And like I said, the family's taken care of. And may Dwayne Haskins rest in peace. So tonight, I'm going to skip around a little bit, but tonight we have obviously the play-in for the East and the West, 7th place versus 8th place. It's going to be an exciting game, exciting 2 games tonight. I will be streaming both, so make sure you lock it in. If you have not already, make sure you smash that like, that thumbs up. It is greatly appreciated. And subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications so that way you don't miss content and you don't miss streams. So, moving on to Atlanta and Miami. Getting right into it. Tonight, 7:30. Like I said, I will be streaming the game. On the matchup predictor, Atlanta Hawks. They're 41-41. Miami Heat is 44-38. On the matchup predictor, 43.6% for the Hawks, 56.4% for the Heat. Season leaders, Trae Young with 26.2 points per game. Jimmy Butler with 22.9 points per game. On the rebound side, Clint Capella averaging 11. Bam Adebayo with 9.2. On the assist, Trae Young averaging 10 assists. This man will pass the ball and make something happen. Jimmy Butler at 5.3. Getting into injuries, no injured players for the Hawks. For the Heat, we have Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, and Nikola Jovic. As far as your spread, Miami Heat favored by 4.5, -205 on the money line, plus 170 on the money line for the Hawks, and your over and under is 228. I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I love the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler, I got to go Atlanta Hawks. I know someone's going to have something to say. They're going to want to fight me about it, and that's totally fine. I'm down for the beef. But I'm going Atlanta Hawks. Even though the underdog, I think they're going to take it. I think Trae Young has an exceptional game. You're definitely going to see Clint step up. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it. We'll have fun tonight, but that's who I'm riding with for that specific game. Next up, we have the Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, this is at 10 o'clock. I'll be streaming this game as well. Minnesota Timberwolves records 42 and 40. Lakers records 43 and 39. Matchup predictors 13%. They're saying that the Timberwolves have no hope. 87% for the Lakers. Anthony Edwards averaging 24.6 points per game. Austin Reeves, he's having a great year, even though he's only averaging 13 points per game. I really like his style of play. I think he's really underrated, underappreciated. So we'll see if Austin Reeves steps up tonight. Rudy Gobert will be out. I'll explain why later. That's interesting if you don't know. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Rudy Gobert is out. He's averaging 11.6 rebounds a game. Wayne Gabriel is averaging 4.2. On the assist side, Kyle Anderson's 4.9. Dennis Schroeder averaging 4.5. Getting into the Timberwolves injury report, Rudy Gobert will be out. Jaden McDaniels is out. Jalen Noel is doubtful. Karl Anthony Towns is doubtful. For the Lakers, Shaquille Harrison, not O'Neal, doubtful. Tristan Thompson, doubtful. Anthony Davis, doubtful. D'Angelo Russell is doubtful. And LeBron James, doubtful. Obviously, these guys are going to play. As far as the spread, Lakers favored by 8.5, minus 400 on the money line. 233 is your over and under. And plus 310 for the Timberwolves. I'm expecting a close game. The Lakers have not really had a run on anyone this year. Okay? They've not had a real run. That's why I'm really surprised by these matchup predictors saying that, 13% chance for the Timberwolves. I feel like it's going to come down to the wire. I'm leaning towards the Lakers, but I feel like it could be anybody's game. I'm going Lakers by 3. Shout out to Tennessee. What's going on, man? Good morning to you as well. I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys tonight for that game. Now, why is Rudy Gobert suspended? Well, I'll show you why. I will show you why. So, an expletive during the game. Now, tensions are high, right? You're playing basketball. It's playoff implications and all that fun stuff. Bravado, testosterone, basketball. We've seen worse stuff happen with teammates, right? We've seen worse stuff happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning violence, and I'm not saying that you should punch your teammate. But let these guys play. They're going to figure it out. All right? They're not trying to kill each other. We've seen worse stuff happen. Is Rudy wrong for what he did? Of course. You don't put your hands on somebody. But, hey, I feel like Kyle Anderson calling you a B, which is what he said to Rudy, kind of tested his manhood a little bit. And he's like, yo, you're not going to call me that. I'm going to punch you straight in your chest and show you what I am. With that said, you can't punch your teammates. So that is why Rudy is suspended. But getting into the story, Minnesota Timberwolves on Monday suspended Rudy Gobert for Tuesday's play-in game against the Los Angeles Lakers after he threw a punch at teammate Kyle Anderson in a team huddle Sunday. The Timberwolves will be without Gobert and power forward Jaden McDaniels, who fractured the third and fourth metacarpals of his right hand after punching a wall in an arena tunnel Sunday and Sunday's costly victory of New Orleans. So everybody's just punching something. You've got Rudy Gobert punching Kyle Anderson. You've got Jaden McDaniels punching a wall. hey, listen, there's a lot of anger on that team. Maybe we need to get these guys some therapy. There's a lot of punching going on. If the eighth seed, if the eighth seeded Timberwolves lose to the seventh seeded Lakers on Tuesday, they'll return home Friday to play the winner of the New Orleans Oklahoma City play-in game for a chance to advance into the Western Conference playoffs. If Minnesota wins on Tuesday, it will move on to the first round playoff series. Obviously, if the Timberwolves lose, there will be more punching of things. Seriously though, guys, don't punch stuff. It's not good for your hands. It's not good for other individuals. And if you're trying to get to the playoffs and win, you need your hands to work. Continuing on. Gobert, who was not traveling with the team to Los Angeles, publicly apologized and privately talked through the incident with Anderson, sources told ESPN, which they should because they're teammates, and that's what teammates do. I mean, you're kind of like brothers, right? You're going to fight your brother time to time. You know, you get over it, you move on. But the organization believed it had no choice but to suspend Gobert for Tuesday's crucial game against the Lakers. The organization was unhappy with Anderson's part, right? Because he started it, you could say. Part that started as a verbal squabble in a second quarter timeout Sunday and escalated into Gobert throwing a punch at Anderson's chest after Anderson called him a B expletive several times, sources said. So there you go, guys. That is why Rudy Gobert will not be playing in tonight's game against the Lakers, which is a huge blow, and that is why they're at 13% predicted to win. Can they still pull it off? Like I said, I think it's going to be a close one. I do think Lakers win by a slight margin, but it will be anybody's game. It will be anybody's game. Speaking of games and punching people, sports betting gone wrong. Before I get into this story, it's very important that if you're going to bet on sports, that you are responsible with your money. You're responsible as far as when you take losses, and be responsible when you have your wins, right? It's never good when you lose money. I get it. You have sadness, anger, especially if you put up the house, right? If you put up the house, you're putting yourself in a situation to where now you've lost it. You've lost everything. So what do? Well, you reach out to the players. You reach out to the players and you let them know how you feel. Bradley Beal on Fan Incident. Nobody wants to lose money, but don't get personal. Bradley Beal speaking Monday at the Washington Wizards' end-of-season availability, addressing the post-game incident with a fan in Orlando, Florida, last month that landed him under police investigation. After a loss to the Orlando Magic, Beal and the Wizards were exiting the court and in the visitors' tunnel headed to the locker room, when, according to a police report obtained by ESPN, an identified man remarked to Beal, "You made me lose $1,300 UF." Beal, according to the report, turned around and walked towards a friend of the man who made the comment and swatted his right hand towards him, knocking the man's hat off and contacting the left side of his head. Now, guys and gals, $1,300 is a lot of money for some people. $1,300 is not a lot of money for some people, but we have to realize that if you lose money, it is never okay to address the players. They are not there to help you win money. You have to realize whatever happens, happens, and you have to take the L if you take the L, like a responsible individual. If you can't take the losses, don't bet the money. It's that simple. You don't go to the casino, and if you lose your chips, you punch the pit boss or you yell at the pit boss, because guess what? They're going to toss your ass out of there real fast, quick, in a hurry. I don't know why people feel that it's okay to address certain individuals or why they want to try certain people. It's kind of weird. We'll keep going. Nobody wants to lose money. I get it. If you keep it about sports, I'm all for it, Bill said Monday. But I think it's when people start getting personal, talking about your family, talking about your character, your integrity towards the game. I think all of that, we can save it. We can really keep those comments to ourselves, which he's absolutely right. Bill said he's noticed a bit more nastiness related towards sports gambling in the past few years. I understand. I go to casinos. I gamble. I understand that. But I also understand it's probably a 99% chance I'm going to lose, he said. I'm not sitting here about to get angry at the dealer or angry at any or everybody else. Pretty self explanatory. It's not hard to understand that there's a responsibility that comes with sports betting. And if you can't handle the loss, just don't do it. Don't put yourself into a situation to where you have to address someone in a certain way out of anger, out of resentment because you lost. Obviously, if you do have an issue with betting, I'm going to do the responsible thing and go ahead and give you the betting hotline number. If you have a problem with addiction, you can contact 1-800-522-4700. Once again, that's 1-800-522-4700 if you have a problem with gambling addiction or if you need help with your anger management towards gambling. So that is the short and skinny. Shout out to Tennessee Tactical. Punching drywall like Kyle on the Monsters. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad to hear this kind of stories because think about it. If you're a basketball player, right? And let's say you just dealt with this situation. The next night you go out there, you're like, I'm gonna have to deal with this again. That's not going to make you perform better, right? The pressure is on the fact that you need to perform to win for your team and you need to do your job, whether it's scoring, rebounding, assists, and things like that, right? Because everybody bets on those kind of things. You're not looking at it in the sense of, oh, I need to win because Joe needs to win his $200. I need to win because I'm playing on my team and we need to win. It's a team sport. I'm not thinking it's a team sport and I need to help my fan win money or my fans win money. You might even be a fan. You're just betting on this person to win. It's kind of crazy. It really is. I really think that, and don't be wrong, I'm a fan of sports betting. I do it from time to time. You guys know that. But I really think that with the inception of sports betting in all these different states and it becoming a thing more so than what it used to be, that's led to a lot more of these incidents happening, and we're probably going to see more problems come from that. And they're going to have to figure out how to provide better security for the players if things like this does happen more often. So that is it for today, guys. Shout out to each and every one of you. I want to wish all you guys to have a great Tuesday. I think the word of the day is awareness. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Tuesday, word of the day, it's going to be awareness. Awareness of your surroundings, awareness of who you are, awareness of what's going on so that you can make better decisions and you can apply them for better outcomes. With that said, shout out to you guys, all the listeners, all the watchers. Much love. I will see you all tonight. Have a great day.